and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight we're going to have some fun because I am going to do a fancy fold card, and I was playing with different measurements all day to get this exactly right and to get it so that it fits perfectly in our mini slimline envelopes. I like a mini slimline card once in a while because it goes for the same price as a regular stamp, just a regular forever stamp. And I don't know, they're kind of a neat size, something a little bit different. They also make a great money holder for the holidays because of the kind of the long, thin shape of them. But this card is a fancy fold, and I think you're going to like the way it looks. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Oh, look, my stool's in the way.
Boy.
My stool out of the way.
Always stealing my thunder.
Sorry.
Right.
How are you?
So much thunder. I am better than horrible, thank you.
You look nice and warm.
Oh, I am toasty, yes. You got to be plenty of toast. You got to have plenty of toast here in Wisconsin. And welcome everybody to the the craft or dinner crowd.
Yes.
Here on Tuesday nights. Great to be here.
Yeah, so you see my shirt, Tom?
I see your shirt,
so
yes.
I thought this shirt was inside out. Because doesn't it look like it's inside out? It's got like the seams here and it's got seams here. So then I flipped it around and it looked kind of nice on the other side too, except all the tags were on the...
Oh.
Like all the tags are actually on the inside here. So I think this is supposed to look this way.
Yes, I have a few shirts like that, and there you can't go wrong shirts.
Yeah, you can't mess it up.
Take the tags off.
Yeah, so I flipped it around. I actually wore it to work inside out because I thought it looked better, but then we got on screen and the other side was making the camera all weird. So I flipped it back around. Yeah, and my nails match tonight, sort of, pretty close. Good enough.
Beautiful, yeah. We're in December now.
Yep, we're in December now, so red nails for a little bit.
We'll
see how that goes. All right, well, Donna, if I'm cutting in and out, just go out, refresh, and come back in, because we're not cutting out here, so that must be something maybe with your internet, and sometimes if you refresh, you just catch a better vibe, a better groove. All right, well... Tom, I think you're going to like this card tonight. It's pretty cool. It's a fancy fold, and I've never done this one before. And I've done a lot of fancy folds on this channel. So,
all right, get the fancy folding.
All right. Well, let me get my big paper cutter. Here it is. I'm going to use my big old tonic paper cutter just to cut the big piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use some sea glass cardstock for this card. I think I'm going to do a sea glass card tonight. Just love that. I thought about doing the purples, but purples, pinks, sea glass, it's all good. If you prefer to do something different, you certainly can for your card. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of cardstock and we're going to cut it down to 9 3/4 of an inch. So that's right there.
Is that cutter from Gin and Tonic Studio?
Gin and Tonic? Gin and Tonic? Yes, it is from Tonic Studios. This is an old one. I've had this one for like a million years, and I love it. I still use it for when I need to cut big things. Okay, and now I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it a quarter turn, and I'm going to cut this to 6 1/4 inches. Which actually goes right to the end here of my tonic cutter. So I'm going to measure that just to make sure, but I think that that's right. Yep, look at that, 6 1/4 inches, just perfect. Okay, so I'm not done with the cutter yet. The next thing that we're going to do, and I just want to let you guys know, I want to let you guys know a couple things first. Tom, maybe we could go to the front shot here. Oh, that's good. That's perfect. I want to let you guys know, number one, I'm going to make a template for this, and I'm going to share it on the blog on our website under our templates and charts thing that we have over there. And then I'll also share it in the files section in our Facebook group. And the other thing I want to let you know is we have a really cool giveaway tonight. So stay tuned to the end of the show. All you have to do is leave a comment anywhere during the show to be entered to win. And we are actually giving away 3 prizes tonight. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that early so that you didn't go away and you stayed till the end because it's going to be fun. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to score this at 3 1/4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do a score line here, 3 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to turn this and I'm going to do the same thing again at 3 1/4 inches. And hopefully that means that this in here, this middle panel, is also going to be 3 1/4 inches. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so I am going to fold this one back. Okay, that's pretty close. It could be that my cutting is just a hair off. It only has to be off by like a 1/16 of an inch. All right, so I'm folding that one forward. And then this one I'm going to fold back. Now, I know my score line is in the wrong direction for folding back, but that's okay. It's still going to be pretty good. All right. So this is a big Z-fold card. All right. Big Z-fold card. But we're not stopping there. So now I'm going to open this back up again. And I am going to take my ruler and I am going to, let's see here. I'm going to put a pencil line at the 2 1/4 inch mark. Let's see, maybe I should do that over here because I want this to be the 2 1/4 inch. Okay, I don't think it's going to matter all that much. I'll just do it here. We're going to put a pencil line, pencil mark at 2 1/4 inches, like right there. 2 1/4. And then we're going to cut from that 2 1/4 inch line all the way down to this point. Okay? Now, let's see what that's going to look like. I think I'm going to put it on the other side because I like the way the fold looks on the other side, and then this one will be in the back. And I could have scored it on the other side too, flipped it around. That probably would have been a good idea to stretch the fibers from both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of score it on this side too to press this score line in. And then that would have given, I wouldn't have gotten that little kind of breakage there of the, like the crack. So, but this is going to be fine. All right, so now I want to get my big cutter back out again. Now this, let me back out of my screen so you can see how I'm going to do this. All right. And then remember, I am going to have a, you're going to see a little bit of the floor, but that's okay because I want you to see how I do this. So we're going to start right here. I'm going to get that into position onto the blade. So I know that's hard to see, but that little mark is right up against the blade. Let me move my scoreboard. And then once I get that into the right position, I'm going to hold that down, but I'm going to turn this so that the point at the very end here is right on the blade as well. So we want to make sure that that's right and that's right. And that looks pretty good. Okay? And now I'm going to hold that down and I'm going to cut that like that. All right? And then this, I'm just going to put aside for now. Okay. I can use that for other things. Now let me get rid of my little pencil mark here. Okay. And now this card is going to open like this. Isn't that kind of fun? Kind of a fun way to open. And this will fit perfectly inside one of our mini slimline envelopes. So let me grab one of those to show you. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to decorate this, because I have some fun ideas. Okay. So this is a Z-fold card, but it's kind of like a tiered Z-fold card. So maybe that's what we'll call it. See, and it fits perfectly in there. It goes right up to the very top into that mini slimline. Okay, so this is going to be on the blog. You will be able to download and print this Z-fold or tiered Z-fold template. Okay, so now we're going to do some stenciling. So I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock in half here. Some white cardstock, and then I'm going to cut a quarter sheet of that. Now, you can do anything you want. You can use pattern paper for this. You can create your own pattern paper through stamping. You can do some stencil designs, whatever you want. And we're going to upholster here, 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 and here. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So this piece of cardstock will fit these two, you know, like, well, it won't fit both, but I mean, we need 2 of these to do these 2, and we'll need another one to do this one here. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, but then we're going to need a taller piece to do this one. So let's start with the new stencil that we have from our brand new release. We're going to use that one, and that's called Dazzling Dahlia. So I am going to get a couple of ink stands here, and I'm going to use Turquoise Sea in one, and I'm going to use Sea Glass in the other. Now, I might mix, I'm sorry, I'm going to use Tranquil Teal and Sea Glass. Now, I might mix Turquoise Sea in there if this is going to be too dark. I'm just going to have to kind of play with it and see. And let me zoom in a little bit here so we're not like right looking at the floor because I have not vacuumed. Okay, we're going to start with Sea Glass. And let me get this stencil out. Now we're going to use the big layer here, and we want to make sure that we can see the word. So let's see if I can get that in the light. There it is, Dazzling Dahlia. And we're going to cover this whole thing. So I'm going to be doing some quick stenciling all around this. And I'm also going to grab just a big Post-it note here so that I can block off some things. Okay, and then we can kind of randomly cut this wherever we want. So let's start here. I am going to tape this paper down with some tape. Where'd my tape go? Here it is. I'm going to just put a little bit of tape on here, and then I'm going to just hold the stencil and move around the paper. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Sea Glass. And I'm going to just protect up here. So you can see I'm a little bit off the paper here. No big deal. I'm going to do each of these layers, and then I'm going to go back and do the second layer. But first I just have to see where the leaves are going to go. And this is a great project for, like I said, pattern papers, because I know a lot of us have a lot of 12 by 12 pattern papers, and probably one sheet of 12 by 12 would probably, you know, take care of a lot of these panels. I just want to see where the leaves go, just so that I can position my stencil up here. So I am going to clean the stencil real quick with a little alcohol. I thought about mixing colors too, you know, doing some of it in turquoise, some of it in purple, some of it in some other colors. But I think it's going to be really striking to have everything the same color. And I'm actually going to use some different stencils. So I'm not going to just do all one stencil design. So this is just so that I can see where the leaves are going to, so I can position the stencil somewhere else. Now, I'm going to flip the stencil over so I can get kind of the other side. And I can see where these leaves go, so I'm going to put this stencil in here and then slip this one out. All right, and this way I'm not going to get in the way of the leaves. This is such a beautiful stencil. This is in the kit, by the way, in the You Are So Loved kit. So for those of you that are looking for it on the website, I know Brianne probably already took care of it. And thank you, Brianne, for being here. We love you and we appreciate you so much. Okay, so now I've got that layer done. Now, before I take apart, everything, I'm going to do one more of these panels before I clean up and start on layer 2. I'm going to do one more of these panels, and I'm going to lay this on top again, just to see, where I positioned it, so I can do it the same way. So I'm going to just lay that on top, figure out where I positioned it close enough, and then I'm just going to pull this one out. That makes it easier. I don't have to start over and measure. I know, I have nails tonight. I decided to use them. I actually put these on my blog too. These are things I love. I have a little place on my blog with all the things that I love, like my medical ID bracelet and these nails. They're by Impress, and I think they have a 40% off sale right now. So I threw the link up on my blog just in case anybody wanted to look at them. They have some light colors too, which is really nice. But I decided to go dramatic. I did them for Thanksgiving. These are the same nails I've been wearing since Thanksgiving, and they're holding up pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to clean this off. I know, Rena has done my nails before, and she does such a great job, but she was out of town for Thanksgiving, and I just was in the mood, so I had purchased some, and they were sitting in my drawer, and I thought, I'm going to give them a try. And they're really fun. Okay, so once again, I'm going to throw this one back on here. And just, get it close to where this is. And then I will just pull this out. Okay. There's a little woodpecker. Woody. Okay. So this one will be for 2 of my panels, and then I am going to use some other layering stencils. We're going to do a couple different ones, and then each panel will have a little something different. This will be an inside and an outside panel, so it'll still look really cool. I think I'm going to go back to Turquoise Sea. I think Turquoise Sea might be dark enough for this one. Okay, so now that I've done those 2 panels, let's move to the second layer of this stencil, which is kind of the detail of this flower. Here it is. And it's pretty easy to line up. You just have to play with it until like all the white lines disappear. There you go. And if you feel more comfortable taping it down, you certainly can. I'll use a little pixie tape here. Yeah, they stay on pretty well. And I rarely used press-on nails in my life because I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I used to own 3 nail salons. I'm sorry, 5 nail salons. I had a little chain of nail salons. Tom and I did while Tom was in school. He was in law school at the time, and this was pre-Gina K Designs. So I had a chain of salons, and we did nails. It was called Nail Spa Plus in Madison, Wisconsin. We had Madison, we had Janesville, we had Baraboo. All right, I'm going to go with Turquoise Sea. And so, you know, I never did like these kind of like with the tabs where you press them on, but they're nice. They're very nice. The technology has come a long way. Let me just say that. Okay, so I'm using Turquoise Sea over sea glass here just to see if this is going to be dark enough. I'm going to go with this brush. I don't know why I went with the small brush. I have a lot of surface space to cover here. And then I might go over it with a little teal. We can take a look at this and see if we feel like it's enough.
Shout out to all our friends freezing in Florida right now.
Aww.
Yikes.
How cold is it in Florida?
Somebody's just said it's in the 30s.
Oh, that's dumb. That's stupid weather. Not for Florida. That's cold in Wisconsin, 30s. That's what? What is wrong with Mother Nature? She really needs an attitude adjustment. Okay, let's see how this looks. I'm already getting ink all over me. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. That's just like the right amount of contrast there. I like that. I think maybe the Tranquil Teal. If I had another layer, I would do Tranquil Teal. But I think this layer is going to be just fine. Oh, I don't need this time. I can actually see where to put it on this one. So let's just wiggle this off and we'll stick this one on. All right, there we go. See how easy that popped into place? Almost. The only thing about having nails when you're not used to having nails is you have nails, and then they kind of, you know, you got to learn how to do stuff with them when you haven't had them for a while. But they do make you feel pretty. It's very nice. Okay, so here we go, round 2. Oh, the ink pad, the ink stands? Yes, Brianne, share your link for the ink stands. The ink stands are amazing. It makes it so easy. Can you imagine how, like, I can, like, keep my hand over here, and the little grippy feet on the bottom keep the ink pad from sliding all over the tabletop, because that's a nightmare when you're trying to ink up an ink pad or an ink blending brush, and the ink pad is flying all over the table, and you can't let go. You're kind of stuck. Well, Brianne solved that problem for us. Brianne, who is linking everything for us, she is the owner of the inkstand shop, and her husband, they're a small business, and they actually make these in their garage. She posted a picture of her husband out in the cold, in the frigid cold, 22 degrees there, making inkstands because they had a successful Black Friday sale last week. And I think they sold a lot of inkstands. But at any price, this inkstand is really good. Okay, so I'm going to just clean this again because I'm going to flip it around. And I'm just using alcohol on my paper towel to do that. Okay, so now upside down we got to go. Let's see here. We got to find the spot. Again, it would have been a lot easier had I thought about this a little bit. There we go. All right, that makes it easy. Once I see it, then I'll be able to see it for the second one. That was quite the roundabout way. Okay, and here we go for round 2 of Turquoise Sea. My Turquoise Sea ink pad needs to be re-inked. I know that's a shocker, right? That I would use a lot of Turquoise Sea, but I think I've re-inked my pad maybe twice in my life. They don't really need a lot of re-inking, but when they get to that point, you know, you start to get like, ugh. You got to really scrub to get the color. Alrighty, there we go. There's layer 2. That's pretty. Get this one in here. And this should be a little easier to figure out. It should be, but maybe it was more this way. You know, what is wrong with me that I forget that quickly where this was? Anybody see it? Oh, here it is. I need a little replay button so I can watch myself and see what I just did. Once we get all the inking done, then the rest goes pretty quickly. But it's fun to just see these layers come to life. All right. Well, next up are the greens. So for the greens, I was thinking of sticking with the cool greens on this one. Normally with the cool colors, I tend to, you know, bump into the warm greens like jelly bean green and fresh asparagus for a little more contrast, but I think it would be cool to go cool. I'm gonna be cool tonight, and I'm gonna go with our spruces. So I'm gonna use medium spruce and light spruce for the leaves tonight. And these are nice and inky, so these brushes will ink up really easily. All right, so I'm going to start with the light spruce in one inkstand and the medium spruce in the other one. And then I'm going to make sure, you know, you always want to make sure you can see the writing down here when you start. And that'll make it easy to figure out where this is supposed to go. So that looks pretty good right there. And we will start with the light spruce. So I have a brush for that. Yeah, you can see how juicy that ink pad is. And we're not going to be using all of this, but, you know, we're going to be using enough of it that I've got to kind of fill it all in. And then we'll do that other one. See, aren't those colors nice together? That's just such a pretty green. It's a delicate green. Let me get this one here. Same thing.
Question from Terry. Does your new scoring board have the measurements for this envelope?
For this envelope?
I guess this size card.
I would have to look on the back to see all the different ones that are on there. Yeah, I'll have to look. I'll have to let you know on that one. I don't have it all memorized, so... Most of the envelopes that are on the scoring board are more geared toward squarish types of envelopes, you know, more like an A2. I know they're rectangles, but they're a little bit, they're fatter. So I'm going to say no, there isn't a mini slimline on there. All right. But I would have to look really closely and figure out. There's a lot of different envelopes on the back, though. A lot of different sizes, the square cards, the, you know, the small square ones for our wreath builder are on there. There's one, I believe, for a 5x7, maybe? I have to look. Okay, so now we're going to add a little bit of the leaves up top, but not all of them, because you can see some of them are going to be blocked out. But the way this stencil is designed, I think we're going to find that we can kind of place leaves where we want them without too much trouble.
So Linda wants to know what makes those greens cool. How do you tell warm and cool?
Oh, okay. So a cool green is going to have, I really should just have looked at this better beforehand. A cool green is going to have a blue undertone. And these are blue greens. I think I'm going to play this by ear here. I think I'm just going to stick this in right here. I'll do it over right here. There we go. I'm going to put that right in there because I have to piecemeal this around. So I'm just finding a spot that I like. So a cool green has a blue undertone or even a gray undertone. And a warm green is going to have more of a yellow or a gold undertone. Now I'm gonna be smart here and do this second layer because this is the second layer right here for this, and I don't want to have to figure this out again. So we'll do this with the medium spruce, which is up here. I'm using a small blending brush for this. Just adding some of that in there right now, just to give it that little zip. And then over here, let's see, where do I want to put this? Ooh, that will work really nicely right there. I can do these two. But I don't want to get it in here. So we'll do this one. And we'll do up here. So that's really the big difference. I can't pick up a stencil with the nails. Alrighty. Figure that out. There we go. Right there. And we're just going to use that small brush, so I think I'll be okay. I'll just put my fingers there. There we go. Okay. So now I can do the same exact thing for the other one. And remember, I'm going to be cutting this all apart. So let's do the same thing for this other one. We're going to start over here with this. It's easier to see once you have the ink on the stencil. And then over here with this. Hide that. There. Now I'm going to add that second layer right away to this because then I can wash this stencil and flip it over. And the bottom one will be super easy to do. Brianne, I just bought 2 more ink stands today. I bought 2 for my neon inks. I placed an order today. So I would assume it'll take a little while because small businesses are, they do their best during Black Friday, that's for sure, but it can be tough to get everything out quickly. But I'm good. You are worth the wait, girl. Okay, so I'm going to clean these stencils, and then I'm going to flip those over, and then we're going to pick a different stencil for the other parts that we're going to do. Clean this one too, and give that a chance to dry. Okay. Alrighty. I might just dry it on my pants down here. Okay, I gotta just find where the words are. Here we go. And that just pops right into place. I'm gonna just hold it since I have my inkstand. And go ahead and just add that shading. Now, if you want to be really fancy with this, you can even get the dark spruce involved. like right down at the very base of all the leaves, and that'll kind of give you even shading on this second layer. So that's kind of fun to do too. You could also have done that with the Tranquil Teal and the and the blues here. But I do like the softness of those blues. So I like these colors together. I think they complement each other really well. So if I'm missing anything, Tom, just let me know. I'm missing a lot. How are you doing over there, Tom? How's the dead space? Is it active?
It's better than horrible.
All right.
Some questions coming in about our December release.
Yes. So I made the executive decision today to move our December release to the beginning of January. And I have to talk to my staff about all the details. So I can't really give a date just yet, but we still have a lot of orders to process. And we also have something very special coming at the end of December. So I don't want really anything to bother that as well. So I think we're going to have it probably very, very early in January. But that'll give our staff a nice chance to catch up. And it'll give you guys a chance to use your fun new things and for us to make some fun new cards. So that's sort of the plan, although it's not a perfected plan yet. So, all right, let's pick a different stencil. I'm going to cut another one of these.
And Gina is asking, have you used watercolors on your stencils?
Have I used watercolors on? No, I'm not a big watercolorer, so I don't really do that, but you certainly can. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and it looks really pretty. Definitely. You know, I should have used the other side. There's a little mark on this paper, but we'll work through it. Okay, so we've used this one. This is the Dazzling Dahlia from the kit. And now I was thinking it might be fun to do the Tranquil Lotus. I love the Tranquil Lotus. But maybe I'll do the Tranquil Lotus for this tall one. I'll do the Tranquil Lotus for the tall one. And I think I'm going to use Flowering Vine for this one. Sorry, Brienne. I'm going to use Flowering Vine. So this one is a 1, 2, 3, 4-piece stencil too. But this one is a very easy one. We just have to like lay it flat on here. No figuring it out. So we're going to do 2 of these. This is a fun stencil.
And sorry, we don't have information on where things are with the shipping of the last release. It's we don't have that information typically on our
No,
lives.
You'd have to contact customer service for that. We just don't have the ability to look up an order or anything and see where things are. Okay, so I'm going to go Sea Glass again, but then I think this time for the details, I'll go Tranquil Teal. So we'll go a little darker and just kind of make it a... This actually looks like it's got some Turquoise Sea on it, so that'll be fun. We can mix this in there. I didn't clean the brush in between, so it's probably a little darker than Sea Glass. But that'll give it some good shading too, as it kind of starts to wear off the brush. We'll have a couple different colors in here. And this I don't have to clean and flip over, so we'll be able to do all of this at once. I love this stencil too. This makes a really pretty background. You know, some of the big flowers feel very much like a feature, right? Like a focal image, but some of these make a really cool background too. Let's see what's going on here. Let me move this. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to take that off. That was just a little hanging piece. A hanging Chad. Remember that? The hanging chads. That's what that was.
That was a long time ago.
I know. All right, so we're going to add the second layer here. Let's see where this all goes now. Just line it all up. There we go.
And what stencil is that?
This is Flowering Vine. I want to just put this up against here to see. These are all my daughter's stamps. Oh, okay. Yep, that's where it goes. So, there we go. Oh, this is cool. I forgot how cool this stencil is. Let's lock that in. Flowering Vine. Oh, did you see me shift that? We'll get it back. There we go. Yeah, this is my daughter Alicia's stencil. She does a great job with these stencils. All right, so we're doing Tranquil Teal now on this layer. I think these will be fun to have, like, you know, some different color turquoises in the mix here, because the greens will all be the same. This will give us some extra depth, and it'll kind of divide things up a little bit between that bottom panel and the tall panel. Now again, you can totally use pattern paper if you don't want to go through all this with the stenciling, but I find stenciling, layering stencils, so relaxing to create with. And, you know, why not have every little bit, ooh, that's pretty. Why not have every little bit just, you know, made by hand? So you can see that's going to be some nice colors together. We've got the darker in here. This stencil was not in the kit. The Dazzling Dahlia one is in the kit. Am I right, Brianne? It's in our latest kit.
No,
all right.
No, Linda, we did not get any of the blizzard here.
No, we got really lucky. We got lucky. All right, so we're going to do layer one here on this piece, and then we're going to add our greenery, and then we'll just have one more panel to go. I was just you know, taking a peek at my blood sugar. It's looking good.
Maybe wants to know, why don't you use a glass mat instead of a piece of cardstock?
Well, I'd like to get a glass mat, and in fact, I might get a gray glass mat. I've been looking at Glassboard Studio, and they have really nice mats, and I like a plain mat, and gray is kind of the color of my table. I like gray because I think it's a good neutral. It doesn't really change the color of the lighting, and, you know, white is... They make a white mat that's really nice, but I think for me it would be hard to see my white cardstock on the white. So I'm thinking about getting that gray one. But, you know, I'm an old school kind of person here, so I just use a piece of paper. And that started many years ago because glass mats can be glary, and depending on where you position your lights in your studio, they can catch a glare. You might see some video out there where people have a ring light and you can see the ring in the glass mat, and that'll never happen on a piece of paper. So our lighting has changed and gotten a lot better and a lot more professional, and we might be able to do a glass mat. We'll see. We'll see. But I do like Glassboard Studio a lot. I think they've got really nice products. All right, and now we're going to do round two here. Pretty easy to line up. I also don't do a ton of messy techniques, super messy techniques. So, you know, I haven't really been worried about my workspace, but maybe it's my cue to get messy. Plus, we've got some really cool things coming out in January that I think you guys are going to like a lot, as far as ways to hold down your paper. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, January is going to be a fun release. I'll give you a little preview, not a preview, but a hint. We have 4 brand new ink and cardstock colors coming out. 4 brand new ones, and they are beautiful, and they are going to get you in the mood for crafting. And they really do coordinate with other things we already have in our collection, but they're very unique colors. They're all custom made, custom colors. Took a while to do them, but I think you're going to love them. Okay, so there we go, round 2. I love this one. And let me get that out of the way. Now let's get into our greens here. We'll do our 2 greens. Going to stick with those same greens. Tease us, go ahead. I love that. All right, back to medium spruce and light spruce. The other thing I like, I just have to give this plug to the inkstand, because look at those 2 ink pads. If I was looking at those loose on the table, you know I would put my brush in the wrong one, right? Because they look exactly the same color-wise. But because you can store the lid like that, it does make it very easy to know what color you're working on, and you're less apt to have a rogue lid situation. Okay, let's position this. You know what, I'm going to do this one first, actually. This is layer 4, but I don't know why I made it layer 4, like why we chose this order, because I feel like this should be layer 3. I know why. It's because it's the skinnier one, so you're going to do this one in the darker color, but it's easier to position it because the stems, you know, you can kind of position all the stems where they need to go, and then that makes it easier to do the bigger layer, because you really don't know where to put the bigger layer. So I would use layer 4 first, and we're going to do that with the darker color. So I'm going to use medium spruce here. Yes. I was so jazzed when we came out with this spruce because it's so different than all of our other greens. Most of our other greens in our collection, maybe not so much lucky clover and Christmas pine, but fresh asparagus, grass green, jelly bean green, even dark sage, they're all very yellow-based, warm-based greens. And they were the first greens I came out with. Anybody remember what our very first green was? See if somebody remembers out there. See if somebody's been with us that long. Or you can also take an educated guess and see what you think, what our very first green was. And it wasn't Christmas pine. It was a yellow-based green. Let's see what they say. It takes a minute for the comments to come through tonight, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Everything's kind of on a delay. I'm probably still on the last layer of the last stencil. I'm in a different timeline on this video. Oh, they're coming through like crazy on my phone. A lot of people are saying jelly bean. So it was actually fresh asparagus. I know, right? I can't believe it. Jelly bean, it definitely seems like it should be jelly bean. because I use jelly beans so much, but I came out with fresh asparagus. My first colors were Red Hot, Ocean Mist, fresh asparagus. I'm going to use light spruce right now. And I'm trying to think what else. Maybe somebody else knows. If Karen Hightower's here, she might know. She's been here for a really long time with me. And I think we did 6 colors the first time. Maybe 4. And then we did another 4. And Jelly Bean Green wasn't the next green either. I think Dark Sage was the next one, which is so funny because that's such a dark one. But maybe I'm wrong about that. It could have been Jelly Bean. Okay. So there, I've added that second color there. You can see how pretty that is. That is just a nice, very soft pattern. And this whole thing just feels darker than this one that we did earlier, because it is. But I think they'll make really nice, they'll make nice teammates on this card. All right, same thing again. We're going to start with the layer 4 on this and just pop everything into place there. That looks good. And we'll go with the darker one. I think, you know, I was thinking with Dark Sage, which is a very pretty color, I was thinking, you know, oh, that would be a really good masculine green. And Fresh Asparagus would be, you know, a lighter version. But then once you start stamping, you realize, oh, you know, I could really use something lighter in here. So that was very early on in the Gina K Designs company, our first ink pads. Very early on. Red Hot Ocean Mist. And Fresh Asparagus.
Shall we sneak in a word of the day?
Ooh, that would be a great idea.
Okay, today's word of the day goes out to all those.
You gotta be on. They want to see you.
Today's.
Sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
Today's word of the day goes out to all those significant others, spouses, usually husbands, who have had to spend the night on the couch.
Oh, no.
Because they won an argument. And it's not always what it's cracked up to be.
The win.
The win, as Ray Romano says on his TV shows, all alone in Wrightsville.
Yeah.
And that word of the day, that winning an argument that you really wish you hadn't, that's a glaring example of wisdom. Wisdom. Word of the day. Back to the dead space. I actually like sleeping on the couch.
You do?
Yeah. Especially in like a really fancy furniture store.
Oh, I missed one here. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad to know that you like sleeping on the couch. That makes things easier. All right, now I'm going to get another piece of white cardstock here. Where is the white? Here it is. I've got 2. I'm just going to cut this in half over here, off to the side. And I'm trying to decide if I should use the lovely Lotus, because, let me see here. Where did it go? Here it is. Tranquil Lotus, not Lovely Lotus. Tranquil Lotus. I want to see how that would fit on here. Oh yeah, I think that would fit really nicely on here up in this area. And I think, let's see, can I get the whole thing? I need the whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way because I need kind of a big piece. So I want to get the whole thing. So, and then we're gonna trim it all down. Okay. So I'm going to use stencil number 1 here first. And I'm not worried about going off. Well, maybe I should worry. I'm going to worry. I'm going to put a Post-it note there. I'm going to worry. Because I might need a little cardstock clearance up there. So I will just gently put that right there on the end. And once again, I'm going to swap back and we'll use the lighter colors again. So we'll just have that darker mix in the middle. How many brushes does a brush caddy hold? Our brush caddy holds 12, let's see, 4, 5, I got to count. I got to count here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 2 up top. So 12. It holds 12 brushes. I love our brush caddy. All right, so I'm going to start with sea glass again. I'm not going to worry about that too much. This is truly one of my favorite stencils. It's so simple, but it is just beautiful when you get the layers in there. Alicia's done a couple lotuses. She did a lotus stamp set with us too. That's really beautiful. That's called Lovely Lotus. This is called Tranquil Lotus. She kind of did that lotus and then threw it at me and said, "What do you think? You want to do a lotus?" Like, yeah, I guess so. Do I need 2 of these too? No, because this will be the back of the card, so I'll just do 1. All right, layer 1. Let's go to layer 2. There we go. Line her up. Lining up a stencil. I know I could do it in the Misty, and it would be a lot easier, you know, because you just bump it up against the edge. But like I always say, I enjoy the challenge. So now I'm going to use the same blending brush, but I'm going to use the Turquoise Sea this time. Yeah, I do have something very special coming in December, but it is such a great thing. We're going to do our mystery boxes again. And our mystery boxes, I mean, people show what they got in their mystery boxes on our website. People go crazy for them. They sell out really quickly because they've got so much in them. Such a big value. And we've got a lot of different product to put in this time. So that's going to happen in December. And it's actually not going to have just retired product in it. It's going to have current product too, because we are just making room for some big things coming in 2025. So we need room in our warehouse. See, Tom, you built that new warehouse for us, and it's still not enough. Oh, look at that. Isn't that great? Don't you love that? It's still not enough. We've got to reduce inventory a bit. All right, so this we're going to just pop in here. This is just 1 layer. This doesn't have 2 layers. So we can use either color green on this, or we could mix them, but I think I'll just use the light spruce for this. I think that's going to be enough. Maybe I'll use the light spruce, but I'll use the medium spruce brush, so it'll get a little bit of an in-between color. This is truly a beautiful stencil. Yeah, I have medium spruce on this brush. I could have positioned this just a little better, but it'll be good. It'll be better than horrible. Love, love, love. All right, now we've got all of our pieces here. So let's get rid of the ink. We'll get it out of the way. I will give a little hug to my ink stands here for getting me through. Okay. And let me put my blending brushes away so that we don't have a catastrophe with that. And let me clean off my table too before I start getting ink everywhere, because my blending brushes, I just threw them everywhere, and so there's ink. There's ink on me. There's ink on my nails. It's the best way to be. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to trim. Let's start with this one. Do we want this in the center here? And then the tiny one? Or do we want this here? And then have like part of this down here. I think we'll do this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut this down to 2 3/4 of an inch.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. But I want to keep like some of this over here. So I'm going to take it down to 2 3/4 of an inch, like right here. Okay, 2 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna, now you got me nervous, so I'm gonna just, yep, 2 3/4 of an inch. I just want this little edge here to be kind of white. I think that'll be pretty. So 2 3/4 of an inch. I know that's devastating, right? That's devastating. And it's stuck a little bit because I have my tape. Now, here's kind of a little tricky part. So what we're going to do here is I am going to, see how that's like a 1/4 inch on either side? Let me show you. Show you here. It's like a 1/4 inch on either side when I center it. A 1/4 inch on either side. So what I want to do is I want to bring this up to the 1/2 inch mark. All right, and I'm going to center it like that. Let me just move it. I want to get my ruler to the 1/2 inch mark, and then I want to butt that up against there and making it even side to side. Just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you've got about a 1/4 of an inch over here and about a 1/4 of an inch over here. Okay? And then 1/2 an inch down here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just hold that in place, and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to take our pencil and we're going to do a line like that. Okay, this is how we're going to get this perfect angle. All right, then we're going to put that in the paper cutter, and we're going to put this line right on the end of our blade. Okay, so it's easy to see, hard to show you on film, on the camera, but very easy to see that being up against the line. So you can cut it really perfectly. So you can't even see the line anymore, right? Okay. And then that is going to make it perfectly a 1/4 of an inch all around. See that? Okay. Now.
That's pretty yummy.
Yeah, looks good, doesn't it? Now we're going to get a black piece, because I can't do this card without a black layer. Can't do it without a black layer. So let me just cut some 1/4 sheets of black here real quick. I'll just cut 2 because that other one's probably going to have to be bigger than a quarter sheet. Now, this one, I'm breaking out the white gel pen because I'm not going to be able to see it, right? So let's line this up on here. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to cut this. This is 2 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to take that to 2 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to move it up 1/8 of an inch to 2 7/8 of an inch. That's what we want to do. Okay? And then that's going to give us that perfect little shadow layer down here, right? On these sides. But we're going to have to draw a line that's 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch. So let's see how we can do this. I don't really plan. I plan a little, but I don't really plan a ton. I just wanted to make sure that it fit in the envelope. I didn't think about this part too much. Okay, so there. Now we've got that in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I am going to just eyeball.
Oh, the eyeball.
So if you have the Tim Holtz ruler, there's actually a little dotted line here that looks like it would be a very good line to use.
Maybe your eyeball, not my eyeball.
I need to start my gel pen here. This might not even work. It might be better just to eyeball it. I'm going to try eyeballing it. We'll see if I can eyeball it. It seems like it would be pretty easy. Just look at the bottom and look at the top. Try to get it. You know, I'm gonna make this perfect, and I'm gonna show you how to make it perfect because it just came into my head how to make it perfect. Okay. So I believe that if we do that same 1/2 inch thing here, no, we got to go shorter than 1/2 inch.
Oh, you're getting into trigonometry here now.
I am getting into
You better be careful.
I'm going to eyeball it.
You better know the formula. Yeah.
I'm going to eyeball it, and then I'm going to measure it, and then I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to add it to the template so people will know exactly what to do. But right now I'm going to eyeball it. All right, here we go. Pretty good, right?
Gee.
You can see it. I mean, I know it seems like you can't see it, but you can see it. And so now this is going to look really pretty here, right? That's going to look really nice. And you've got that little bit of color in there. All right, so we did this one. Now let's do the other one for the inside. And we can make that one different. Like we can pick a different part of this flower. Like we can kind of use the top part if you want, or we could do the same thing because it is going to be on the inside, so they're not going to be next to each other. So yeah, we'll just do the eyeball. We're card makers. We can get it better. All it has to be is better than horrible. It doesn't have to be perfect. So let's do that again. We'll cut this to that 2 3/4 of an inch mark. Okay. And then we will do the 1/2 inch at the bottom. I gotta be able to see it here. I'm gonna put a little more tape here because once we get it in place, that'll help hold it. All right. Even on both sides, 1/2 inch, even on both sides. There we go. And then we'll do our pencil line. And we're gonna cut it. Yeah, I got lucky on that one. I don't know if the next eyeball is going to be good. Speaking of eyeballs, I have a dilated eye exam tomorrow. That is always fun to come back with dilated eyeballs. See, that looks pretty good. That's the same exact size. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again with this. We're going to go to the 2 3/4 inch mark and then go up 1 more 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to tape this on and eyeball it. Yeah, so my eyeballs are going to be dilated tomorrow. I always look like a ghoul when I come back. Don't I, Tom? You always say my eyes are big enough. They don't need to...
You do. You look like something from a Stephen King novel.
I really do. All right, I'm just taking a moment here. Taking a moment and holding my breath. It's pretty good. So there, I've got 2. Now, is it perfect? Probably not. But it is better than horrible. But this one was supposed to go the other way.
Oh, now wait a minute. That's kind of cool like it is.
Yeah, but that's not.
Oh.
Well, no. That was supposed to go the other way. Okay, well, that's good. You got to see me make that mistake so you don't make that mistake. So do we have enough here that we could piece something together? Could we piece something weird together? No. We'll figure it out. Let's do the next one. We'll get the next one on here. And that's a really good thing to figure out, that one side has to go one way. You were all with me, right? I mean, we were all doing it together and we were all very excited about it. And the other one's going to go the opposite way. So, hey, we're learning. We're learning. So this one is going to go the opposite way of this one. If we want to do this, because this is going to be the front, right? And this is going to be this side. So we want this one to be the front. All right, we're figuring it out. Again, that 2 3/4 of an inch. Let's do the 2 3/4 of an inch.
You've got some suggestions coming in.
I do.
Yeah, let's see. K from Where is saying, turn the flower pattern over to draw with white pen on the black paper with the ruler. I guess that's how to cut it. Let's see.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to do this one now. I remembered that it's opening this way, so this is the direction we want this one to go. So again, we're going to use that same 1/2 inch measurement, 1/2 inch on the bottom. This is a cool technique. And we're going to pop this here. We can always stencil something else. It's not a big deal. We can always stencil something else. And then we'll do that. And now we're going to cut that. I did that one right. Right on the line. And you'll be surprised, like, you'll be able to see it. It's right on that blade. And there we go. Okay. So this is going to fit right in here perfectly. All right, now we got to get a black piece and do the same thing.
Joyce said the black piece will still work.
Yeah, the black piece will still
over.
work. You're right. I just have to flip the black piece over, and then I just have to stencil something quick. That's not going to take long. We'll pick a stencil that's real easy to do, that doesn't have a lot of layers or any layers. Okay, so again, going to the 2 3/4 of an inch mark and moving it up 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to do another eyeball here. The eyeball thing is kind of fun. It's like skydiving, you know? You're like operating without a net, and you're like, well, here we go. It can't get worse than cutting it like the wrong direction, right?
I don't know. I think you could use that little black triangle that sticks up, put a little sentiment on it or something. Back to the dead space.
I'd love to agree with you, but I am going to respectfully disagree. I don't think that's going to look good. Okay, now, if you find that you cut it a little too close, you can always just reposition it down a tiny bit, just a tiny bit, and it won't look that bad on the bottom, but it'll definitely look a little bit more centered like that. See what I mean? Okay. So this one is going here, We might as well put these down now so that we've got a good view of what's happening. Oh, and now I'm out of tape. You know, it's always something. I could have you come and do this one, Tom, this part, if you have an idea for that. Are you just not coming back now? Okay, so this is going in here, easy to center. And this one is going to go here. Oh, this is fun. And I will use that other one too. And then I'm just paying a little extra attention to lining these two up because, you know, that's a good way to center it, but it just makes it look nicer when these two lines right here are lined up. He looks like Rena in that, you know, yeah, he does look like Rena. He and Rena look very similar. Rena looks like him.
Broadcasting from the couch.
All right, I'm going to take this part off here first, just because I want the flower to go to the edge. I don't want to lose flower there. And then I'm going to go to that 2 3/4 of an inch. Again, there. And then I'm going to cut this right to the stem, the end of the stem. I want to see where that's going to fall. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good because it'll look kind of like that, and then we'll just trim that off up there, and we'll get most of that flower in there. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. Or we could go up a little higher. All right, well, let's see where it all plays out. So once again, I'm going to put a little tape back here. Get my 2 inches, 2 inches, 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then I'm going to, you know, double check this to make sure I've got it going in the right direction. I believe I do. Yeah, this is going to be good. Let's cut that off. I think that'll be fine because we want that flower to extend past the top here. It'd be nice if it could just go right to the top, and we could shorten it, but I feel like this is going to look good. All right. And we'll trim this like that. And then we'll cut. And all this stuff I can get off with alcohol. All the little sticky stuff I'm getting all over my paper cutter. Just a little alcohol will take all that off. Oh, and I don't know if you know, but on these paper cutters, you can take this off, and I'll show you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this has a little clip in the back here, and you just push that up, and then this whole thing, I can't do it with my nail. This whole thing will come out, and you can clean all the glue residue off of all of this, and then you just pop it back into place. Watch me pop a nail off trying to do this. I don't want to put too much pressure on these nails because they're several days old. But there we go. So, okay, now we need a black panel. And we need a bigger black panel because this is not going to be tall enough, I do not think. Nope. So we'll go with a 1/2 sheet.
Lana is asking 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch at the bottom. 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch at the bottom.
1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. So this is going to be 2 7/8. Okay, so I'm not graceful with nails anymore. I'm just laughing at myself over here. this one down here. That looks good. It's a long way up. Here we go. And now we're going to eyeball it.
Eyeball.
I gotta have, you're right, I gotta have my black cardstock.
Eyeball.
Eyeball. Here we go. Looks pretty good. Not bad. And we'll put that right there. Okay. Let's get that in place. I know this card is taking a while, but you know, I'm figuring it out as I go along, and then that's why I don't have the template ready, because I had an idea of what I was going to do. All I needed to know was that it was going to fit into the envelope. And if it's going to fit into the envelope, then I'm okay with it. I can figure the rest out. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks pretty good. I'm going to scoot it over just a hair. There we go. All right, let's do this one now so that when it opens, and then we have to, that's on the back. Oh no, it's going to open that way. All right, very good. So we have to do this one. Again, I'm going to just trim off the bottom here so that it's finished off at the bottom. And then I'm going to go to that 2 3/4 inch mark. I think, you know, you're seeing this enough times that this should be, I think you're going to be able to do this. I'm curious, are any of you making this along with me?
I'm having some fruit salad tonight.
Me too. I'm taking these nails off tonight. Okay, I can use a 1/4 sheet of black, so I don't have to use a whole sheet. Yeah, I got to get the sticky stuff off of the paper cutter here. Now, this is going to go to the 2 7/8 inch mark. So I'll put that on the template, like the 2 7/8, but then you're going to get the word eyeball. And you guys will know what that means. And for those that are watching on the replay, if you already have the template, this is what we mean by eyeball. All right, so we're going to eyeball that in the center. And that's at the 1/2 inch mark on the ruler. And cut. Yeah, I know it's like nerve-wracking to think about cutting this, but it's so easy. You'll be shocked when you see how easy it is. The eyeball is a little bit more nerve-wracking, but you'll be fine. You'll be able to do it. And then here's the 2 7/8 piece that we cut earlier. And we'll get that onto here. And then we're just going to need a fun greeting for this. I don't know if we'll pick a fun one. We might pick, this actually would be a really, really pretty sympathy card, I think. The colors are soft, and so maybe we'll stamp with sympathy from the kit. This is also, let's see if I can eyeball a little better this time. It's a little better this time. And that's going to go in here. And I love the 3 different stencil designs when it's all opened up. Tom, am I stressing you out with this card?
Very much so.
Okay, so we've got that. You know, and it sits really nice too. When it's open, it sits really nice. We just have to do a little something there. And we can do that real quick. It's not going to take a long time. I know we're at 8:30. Tom, you probably, it's like past our bedtime, isn't it?
It is.
I know. I know it is. I'll do a lotus because that's an easy one to stencil. I'll just do a quick lotus for the inside. We don't even need much of a lotus. And there's only one actual, where's my inkstand? There's only one actual green part, so that'll be an easy one. We only need a tiny little bit of it. So we'll do this real fast. See, I think we could just do this bottom one, actually, and that will be enough, right? Oh, yeah, we'll just do this bottom one. All right. And here's the other lotus. We'll line that up. Quick one, quick card here, or quick stenciling. In my inkstand. Yeah, the nails have to go. No, I'll get used to them. I just have to practice. It's like anything else, right? Wearing nails requires practice, and it's just been, I don't know, what, 18 years, Tom, since I've had the nail salons?
Okay, so I and a few hundred viewers are wondering where the greeting's going to go.
I am thinking that we could put the greeting down here, or we could put it down here, or we could put it right in here. Or we can even put it on the inside, but I think right here would be kind of nice. Or down here, because then when you open it, you still see it. I think that will be a good place. You and a few hundred viewers, is that what you said? That's funny. I'll use whatever's left on the brush here. Good enough. Okay. Easy peasy. Sometimes you have to do things over. I don't mind. It's not a hardship when somebody says, oh, you have to stamp again, right? It's not a hardship. Let's trim this little bit off here, though. And then we'll take that to 2 3/4 of an inch. We'll trim off that little bit of a bottom here. And then we're going to use this side. So I'll peel. Should I peel this off, or should I just use it the way it is? Let's see if it's easy to peel. Oh, it's not so bad. Okay. So we're going to be using this on the inside here. So we'll get the ruler. See, that didn't take much to redo it. And then we'll pop the greeting on. 1/2 inch. I know it seems wrong, doesn't it? It just seems wrong, like you're just going to cut too much off. I'll cut a little more off here. I just want a little more of that flower. I know we've got that little mark up there, but that's all right. It'll look like a flower. We can fix that. I can fix that. I just want it here. Okay. This is like a release party. And then I will pop that right back on.
That should be the phrase of the day.
Pop that?
No,
Oh.
I can fix that.
Oh, I can, yes. I can fix it. I can fix it. I'll make a little mess, but I can fix it. We'll just add that there. And then we'll just put this one on top. Wendy told me we had fruit flies in the office, and I have fruit flies here, and I know where they're coming from.
Too much fruit salad.
That's what it is. No, I think somebody brought plants, their indoor plants. So we're going to have to discuss. Okay. There we go. See, I fixed it. We're good. I fixed it. Let me clean that off though, because you know that'll be a mess. And now we're going to use this one that we already cut, which is awesome. See, we're making it work. I just like the layout. I just think the layout is so fun. It's a great fancy fold. And that was the only thing missing, was right here. So we had to do it. Oh, thank you. These are impress nails. They're not mine, but I paid for them. So I guess they're mine. There we go. All right. And this is the back, so we don't have to worry about that. So there we go. There's our card. And when it's standing upright, it'll stand upright like a Z like that. And, oh, Mary, I don't think it's too labor intensive. I mean, it is labor intensive, but it's a labor of love, Mary. Labor of love. That's what you got to think. Labor of love. This is all a labor of love. The easiest thing to do would be to go to the Walgreens down the street and buy a card. But this is, when somebody opens that, and they're like, that is the coolest thing. And then they can set it on their desk or their mantle or their counter.
Labor of tough love.
Tough love. Yeah. All right, so let's figure out what sentiment we're going to use here. Let's just look at them and figure out what fits best. So if we made this a sympathy card, I feel like that would be a really good sympathy card. Also, you are in my thoughts is a nice greeting. And we could even stamp it right onto the front of this card if we're brave. We don't even have to die cut it. Should we do you are in my thoughts right at the bottom of this card? Because that could be for anything. I mean, really, that could be for birthday. It could be any time. Could do sending love over here. What do you think, Tom?
You have a sentiment that says you have no idea what I went through
to make this card. I'll do sending love, and I'm going to stamp it right on the card and freak everybody out. All right, so I'm putting this in here. It's going to hang out the end. We're not going to stress about that. I want to make sure this is the front of the card again. Yep, that's the front. We're going to drop it down here, and we're going to stamp it right on. That would be a good greeting, wouldn't it? Okay, sending love. Now, I'm definitely going to check this first to make sure that it looks straight. So, for those of you that are new to the channel and you've never seen this before, you can take the index sheet off of your stamp set and you can lay it right on top like that, and you can stamp it before you actually stamp it to make sure that the greeting looks straight. So I'm going to stamp it in black Onyx ink, and we're just going to do that. And I think that's going to look straight, so I think we're going to be okay. Now, here's plan B. Okay, just so you know, if it doesn't stamp straight or it doesn't look perfect, you can always stamp it on white cardstock and die cut it with the die and then pop it on top, because, you know, that is a way to camouflage something if it doesn't look right. All right, so we're going to stamp that once, and then I'm going to stamp it again. And I'm going to look at this, and if it doesn't look like it stands out enough, I might just go ahead and... No, I think it's standing out okay. But it might look really pretty die cut too. So let's take a look at it. Do we like it right on there? Can we see it enough? Just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and stamp it on a piece of cardstock, and we'll die cut it and we'll look at it. because if we don't use the die cut, I can always use it for another card.
There's your sentiment.
What's my sentiment?
Just for the heck of it.
Just for the heck of it. I don't like using the Misty this way, I'll tell you that. This does not feel comfortable. It feels wrong to be pulling down over it, but okay. We'll die cut it and then we'll look at it. I know my stamp is in here, but I will worry about that later. And let's see. Let's just, because it's right here, let's just use the baby machine. I like to put it on a grippy mat because it makes it a lot easier. And then we just need 2 plates, the 5mm plate and then the 3mm plate. And then I'm going to trim this down. Oh, I lost my scissors in this mess. Here they are. Is that going to be? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and where did I put the stamp set now? Here it is. I always keep the dies right with the stamps. So, here we go. Sending love. And then I don't have any masking magic. Oh yeah, I do. It's on my big machine. The little mini is fun. And it's easy for like these quick little cuts that you want to do. I think I'm going to like it cut out better on the card because I think you're going to be able to see it better, you know? I like that better. It just makes it stand out a little more. It was worth the extra minute to do that. So let's pop that up too, just for the heck of it. And then you can always add embellishments to this card if you want. Can add a little bit. Oh, you know I'm not going to be able to pick these things off with these nails. But luckily, I've got my tweezers here. Now I know why Kathy Z uses these when she makes her cards. Because she's got her nails done all the time. This is labor intensive, wearing nails when you're crafting. But it's fun. It's something different. I'm enjoying it, actually. I'm enjoying having pretty nails. Oh, there. I can use them as tools. That's working. Okay, I don't feel so bad now.
So do you feel like you have to save this card for like someone who saved your life or something?
No, the first time you make any card, it is, I guess you can call it labor intensive because you're learning and you're figuring stuff out. But then once you've made it once, then it's easy to make it again. So you know I have to add a few things here. A few little sparkles. Those are big sparkles. Okay. And where's my glue? Here it is. We'll just put a couple little sparkles right around the greeting. We'll do one here, and we'll do one up here. Okay. Just to glimmer it up a little bit, jazz it up. I'm going to use a couple of big ones, and then a couple of really tiny ones that aren't going to want to let go. There we go. Here's a really tiny one. The nails actually help. They'll have a little glue on them, but that's all right. Okay. I like it.
I am to remind you that your die is still taped to the cardstock.
Yes, thank you. I will take that off. Now, we've got a giveaway tonight. We've got a good giveaway, too. Need a little more glue there because it's stuck to my finger. It's stuck to my nail. Maybe I should try gluing the nails on with Connect Glue and see how that works. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. With a little bit of sparkle. There we go. Now, if you're looking for a place to write a message, you can always die cut like a little square or something in here in white and put it in here. Or, you know, you can use a Post-it note and put a Post-it note message in there. And then this could actually just sit out on the desk and people wouldn't be reading your message. They could just keep your Post-it note. But I love that fold. Or you could just do plain white on this one and you wouldn't have to decorate that one. That's probably what we should have done. Just done plain white in here. And then when it's sitting up, you'll see all the pretty colors. And then in here, this one would just be white so you can write your message. But just make sure you write your message down here and not up here because, you know, well, I guess it really wouldn't matter because it would be hidden. I love this card. I absolutely loved making it. I think it's so fun. And I wish you could see it standing up. I'll take a picture of it standing up and post it in our Facebook group and on the community tab here on YouTube. So I'll hold it shut like that for right now. All right, we've got a really cool giveaway. So Brianne Loveland, who is in here being our rock star linker and sharing all the links for everything we use tonight, has offered to give ink stands to 3 people tonight. You get to pick the ink stand that you want, one full-size ink stand, depending on the kind of ink pads you use in your collection. She's got oval ones. She's got them for every company. So you get to pick the one that works for you. And she's going to give a free ink stand to 3 different people. So Tom, are you ready for that? Woo-hoo. Meanwhile, I'll just keep doing this.
Drum roll, please. Here we go. And the 3 winners tonight are Alice Krum, Mary Ester Deitrick, and Lisa Greer.
Yay! Yay, ladies. Congratulations. You all win an ink stand. So all you have to do is send your address and just a note saying, I want an ink stand to our customer service department, info@GinaKDesigns.com. And then we will get your addresses over to Brianne and she can get those out to you. And just have a little patience because she is loaded up with orders from Black Friday and maybe even a couple tonight. You never know. So she will definitely get those out. And if you already have an ink stand, you can always use more than one because sometimes I have 3 different colors, 4 different colors going, and I've got lots of ink stands. It makes it really easy when your ink and the lids and everything is organized on your desk. So Brianne, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate you giving our viewers that wonderful gift. All right, so Tom and I are going to be back on Thursday. Now, if you are still here in the chat and if you'd like to give our video a thumbs up, we would really appreciate it because that really helps the channel. And also, if you could hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video, you'll always get a notification when we go live. And then if you are new to Gina K Designs and you would like to join our Facebook group, we'd love to have you over there. We post templates and all kinds of fun things in there. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. Just put that in the search bar on Facebook. Our group will come up. You can join, answer the security questions, and then we would love to have you over there. It's a fun group. There's about 47,000 members, and it's super fun. And then if you see anything that you like tonight and you didn't catch Brianne's link, you can head over to our website at ginakdesigns.com and take a gander around and see what you like. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun. Tom and I will be back on Thursday with another Crafternoon Live. We go live noon Central Time, and we'll have another fun card. I probably won't make something quite as labor intensive as this one, but we'll do something fun. And yeah, what was that word of the day again, Tom? Wisdom. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, make sure you rewind a little bit and catch Tom's word of the day and his explanation. It's pretty cute. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.